What's good, homies? We're live from the Heart Center in sunny, beautiful Los Angeles, California, Boyle Heights, East Side. I'm Mark, and as always, I am awareness in the service of love, but I'm also recovering. I'm recovering sex addict, porn addict, codependent, narcissist, drug addict, alcoholic. So many things have pushed me into becoming who I am today. So I have a lot of gratitude for all these things. Um, they've all pushed me into wanting to search for the truth, search for who am I really at my core being. So it's been 1 month, no PMO, no fapping. And I want to tell you, I've kicked a lot of things. I've kicked cigarettes, I've kicked alcohol, I've kicked drug addiction, I've kicked weed. And this was probably one of the hardest things that I've ever done. 1 month, I mean, it feels like a lot longer than that because, pornography is just at your fingertips all the time. I mean, it's like trying to, when I was kicking weed, I just would stop buying weed. When I was kicking booze, cigarettes, anything like that, you just kind of stop buying it. But the fact that pornography is on your computer, it's on your phone, it's everywhere, man. That's a really hard thing to kick. To kick just going to it. So I really have been mindful about a lot of things around that. I don't even use my computer that much anymore. I kind of stay away from it. I don't really find a need to just mindlessly search. So I kind of stay away from that. But let me tell you, man, it's totally doable. It's 1 month was a challenge and it was a struggle. And anybody else is going through the same thing, man, keep going, because retraining yourself, getting away from this addiction is a real thing. And for you to want to be better than that is really awesome. And I really commend anybody that's going through this, struggling with it, or wherever they're at on their journey, because it really will put you into a different headspace. I see women differently. I see women as these beautiful creatures. Not that I didn't before, but you always had like this idea that they were sex creatures only or something. I don't know. So I've really been in a different headspace from this experience. My libido came back too. I used to have like a really weird and bizarre libido that would work a lot sometimes, not a lot sometimes, and I just thought it was a function of getting older or something. But I really think it's just because my brain was being rewired from pornography and the way your brain gets rewired from pleasure and reward systems. So it was a difficult thing. Plus, like on top of like the pornography, you got your dick. You can always just like touch your dick whenever you want. So, so it's like a thing to, you're like an animal, man. Totally like an animal. Like, didn't realize how low consciousness that was, how low consciousness I was functioning. And I really feel better from being able to meet this challenge. I feel like I have results just from a month in. Like I said, my libido is different. I've been able to get into a different meditation space because when your sexual energy is you're losing that through ejaculation all the time. It's not being transmuted with your chi energy into this higher spiritual Shen energy. And where I've gotten with this transmutation, where all three of my energies are working together, in traditional Chinese medicine, they call these the three jewels or the three treasures, Jing, Qi, and Shen. I've been able to get into a place the first time ever, and I'm super proud of this, super happy with this, where I have no thoughts. And this is a new occurrence. It's only been like 3 days that I've been able to get here. Whereas before, my mind would just be filled with all kinds of things. My mind would literally be like a running commentary on my life. It would just be constantly, my intellect was constantly engaged. And that causes a lot of stress and anxiety because we're not really supposed to be operating from this point of view. We should be a lot more intuitive. We should be it's hard to explain unless you go through it or it happens to you or it becomes your experience. So I've been able in this sexual transmutation to get into this headspace where, like I said, I can now be silent, like completely silent. And it feels like a superpower, like a super duper power. And my phone's ringing. My phone rings or gets a text when I'm right, when I'm on to something. It's like a sign from the universe always. It's pretty cool. Synchronicity. So I'm into this headspace where I'm silent. And it's pretty amazing. And, when I'm in this place of silence, thoughts do arise. A lot of negativity or something. And I'm able to see it clearly that it's not me. It's just a thought, and this thought comes and goes. And I'm not my thoughts. I am the observer of my thoughts. And I'm able to see this negativity, or however you want to classify it. I see it come up, and I'm able to sit with it and do some self-inquiry. Ask who does this thought pertain to? Where does it come from? For example, I've told you suckers I'm going all the way with the spirituality shit. And I'll get a thought of, you're never going to make it. It's going to happen for everyone except you. And so I've got to sit with that. Whereas before I might not get that. My signal to noise ratio might be too much, where I might not get that clear understanding of, oh, this is negative shit that's in me that thinks me. The fear that comes up is, I'm never going to get there. It's not for me. I'm not good enough. And then I have to sit and I do some self-inquiry and say, who thinks this? Is this thought still here? And this thought's already gone by the time you get into self-inquiry, and you just are now in this silent space. and that thought doesn't arise. So who is this thought pertaining to that is not good enough, is never going to make it? Oh, Mark. Mark thinks this. But I just said, I am not my thoughts. I am the observer of my thoughts. So who am I? I am consciousness observing these thoughts. Consciousness comes before Mark. And like I said, this thought came and went. So it's not me. And through this self-inquiry practice of looking at the fears, all of a sudden, they're starting to go away. And these concepts and beliefs that I thought were Mark, were me, aren't really so, because I can now be in this quiet, peaceful state of being where there are no thoughts. And I know that's much more of my true self, my true essence than my obsessive thinking. And that's really what it is. It's obsessive thinking. And that's comes from codependency. It's basically obsessive thinking is a way to mood alter out of feeling your feelings and being in the moment, because that's where we're really supposed to be. Is we're supposed to be mindful and in this present moment always. So when we're thinking about future shit that may or may not happen, or worried about past shit, needlessly thinking about it, it's obsessive thinking, and we don't really think about it, but we know what OCD is. You know, OCD is just a physical manifestation of being obsessive. Another manifestation that is not talked about a lot is obsessive thinking, because I think most people do this. Honestly, I think codependency is like the spiritual disease of modern time, honestly. And I don't have that obsessive thinking anymore. And that is like such a relief. It was a big deal for me just to become aware of this like a couple months ago, that obsessive thinking was a real thing. And I thought that by just having awareness around it and knowing about it, it kind of would go away. Just by talking about my feelings, it would just go away, but it didn't. I realized that I suppressed my thoughts and feelings like instantly. Like a metaphor would be when you auto forward emails into like a folder, like it just comes in and goes to another folder without maybe hitting your inbox first. So I realized that I was just suppressing thoughts, emotions, all these things immediately, because my mind was always racing. My mind was going crazy all the time. It's obsessively thinking. It was literally out. My mind used to be, I used to have a running commentary of my entire life. If I was sitting here, my mind would say, you are sitting, you are doing a live stream, you are in Los Angeles. And that would be the content running through my mind. It would be like having a play-by-play analyst commentary in my head. And I thought that was normal. I thought that's what life was. And so it's really only been through NoFap and this spiritual sexual transmutation that I'm able to get into this different headspace and to realize this, and then to have this self-inquiry, asking these questions about these fears. And that's how you get rid of them. You're shining the light of awareness directly onto these fears. And you're doing this from a space of you as consciousness, not you as person. Because like I said, I am not my thoughts. I am the observer of my thoughts. And most people think their thoughts are them. So there's been a lot of benefits from this NoFap challenge, this NoFap regime. I feel a lot healthier too in my body. You know, even though I am consciousness, I don't have 100% awareness around this yet, but I also have a body, and that's a way to experience. It's the way consciousness experiences itself. And I've been getting back into running hills lately, and I feel a lot stronger in my athletic adventures. And on these runs, I notice I have a lot more attention from females that are also on hikes. And this is a new thing. And, you know, when that sexual energy is in your body and it's not being expelled on the daily, or like on the twice daily, 3 times daily, you know, your energy is just more profound. It's more apparent. And people notice that shit, man. You know, energy is a real thing. Humans have energy, our bodies have energy. Man, there's like energy that just is going around the world all the time. We call that wind. What is wind? Wind energy, man. It's just energy fucking moving through the air. So there's energy everywhere. And this NoFap allows you to have more of your energy inside of your body. It allows it to do more things. And I'm just 1 month in. You know, I'm excited to where this goes, where I take it. There have been so many positive things and big shifts that have happened in just 1 month that I'm really excited to continue it, and see how it affects my spiritual development. Because I know it will only enhance what I'm trying to do. Like I said, suckers, let's go all the way. Get rid of my ego fully and live life as love and awareness. Being able to experience being a human on such a level that's beyond what most people even think is possible to be as a human. And that's where I'm going, because honestly, like living life as the person, as Mark, there's a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression around it, a lot of unhappiness, because I know it's not my true essence, my true self. So really, I kind of also have gratitude for all of this, because it pushes me towards a place of wanting to search beyond the limits of where most people go. So I'm very grateful for my whole experience here. And if anyone else is going through this, man, I totally understand that it's difficult. And I want to just let you know that you're doing a great job. Even if you like fail and jerk off, whatever, man. You're doing your best. Just that you have awareness and you want to like try to go down this way, this road, that's like you're on another level, homie. You're like, I don't know, man, top 1% of the world. So keep going. And the benefits are going to be beyond even what I'm talking about right now, beyond even what you can imagine. So thank you for letting me share, and thank you for letting me be of service. Later.